Hello everybody, I hope you're enjoying the conference and having a great session. Unfortunately, I could not be attending the conference, but I am very happy to take part in this session with this video. My name is Kaisto and I work at the University of Eastern Finland at the Karelian Institute, and I have organized 2 citizen science projects at the Finnish-Russian border. In this video, I'm going to share my experiences from those projects. I'm very excited about that. And in the end, I'm going to ponder a little bit on the concept of citizen science and what kind of challenges and possibilities it offers for border studies. Let's first have a look at the 2 projects that I have organized together with my Finnish and Russian colleagues. The first one of these was called Cross-Border Citizen Scientists, and it was organized in 2012 and 2013. The aim of the project was to give science education to school children in the Finnish-Russian border area, and funding for this project came from European Union's ENVI program. We selected 6 pupils or citizen scientists from Finland and 6 pupils from Russia and trained them in 4 different themes. These themes were the environment, history, business, and border studies. So what did we mean by citizen science in this project? The aim was that these 12 pupils would become experts of their own border area by learning about it and by studying it with scientific methods. So each one of these 4 themes continued for 6 months, and they had a similar structure. So they would start with lectures given by researchers, and these lectures were always given from a sociological or social science perspective. And for example, in the border studies, so mental borders theme, the students first listened to lectures given by Olga Bretnikova, my colleague, who told them about borders and border studies, how borders affect our societies and our thinking. And in the same theme, let's scroll down a little bit. Here's a picture of my Finnish colleague Joni Virkkunen, who is lecturing the students about ethnicity and ethnic borders or ethnic boundaries. After these lectures, the students had different research assignments. So I'll again give you an example. This is from the border studies theme, and we had the pupils divided into 3 groups. The first group did interviews with people that often cross the Finnish-Russian border and travel to the other side of the border, and they were studying the motivations of these people. The second group studied newspapers, and they analyzed what kind of articles the local newspapers published about the border and Finland and Russia. And the third group studied jokes or anecdotes about the other country and its people. So the Finnish people would study jokes and anecdotes about Russia and Russians in Finland and vice versa. In the end of each theme, the pupils gathered together in one place for a joint seminar. And in these seminars, we had some additional research tasks for the pupils. And this picture is from the last joint seminar, which we spent in Imatra and Svetogorsk, 2 cities located at the Finnish-Russian border, and we asked the pupils to do visual analysis of the landscape in these cities and to study how the border affects these cities and their landscapes. So, and we had another quite nice task for them. They were working with actors from a local theater, and they had to turn their research assignments and research results into small theater plays. This was very funny, both for the pupils and us as organizers. So, and after these seminars, the pupils gave peer teaching in their schools. So they would tell the other pupils in their schools about what they had experienced and what they had studied and what they had learned. I will put the link to this project in the end of this video, so you will be able to learn more about the project if you wish. And on the webpage of the project, you can also find this manual, which you can download and print.
It describes the implementation and management of the project in great detail, so please have a look at it if you're interested. The second project was carried out in 2014 and 2015. This project was named Borders or No Borders, and it produced e-learning material for school children for studying borders and border areas. And this project was funded by Finnish Ministry of Education and Culture. So the material is available in the internet and it is open access. So anyone who wants to study or use it for their teaching is able to do so. At the moment, the materials are mainly in Finnish language, but I hope that one day we'll have a chance to translate these texts, materials into other languages, at least into English, and develop them further. So what is the aim of this material? It is to advance understanding of borders among children and young people. We wanted to help them to recognize, study, and question borders in their everyday environment and life. This page contains all the 22 available topics, and these topics are divided into different themes. And the first theme is science and border studies. So what is science? What is border studies? The second one is what are borders? So how do we recognize borders in our own environment? And what do researchers mean by borders and boundaries? The third theme is state borders and how they affect our societies, cities, migration, etc. The next one is borders in our minds, or mental borders, how borders are related to identity, our mental images, ethnicity, nationality, history, etc. And the last theme is borders and the environment, so how nature does not recognize human-made borders. And in the end, there is a special section for doing research. So how do we do research? What are the basic concepts that we need to know? And so on.
As many of you probably know, citizen science projects are typically carried out in the field of natural sciences and environmental sciences. Citizens are invited to take part in scientific research projects, and ideally they do not only take part in data collection, but they take part in data processing and analysis, and of course in relating research results to the general public. In this way, our two projects were not very typical citizen science projects. Our participants did not take part in scientific research projects, but they had their own research assignments. But despite this, I think that we made some important observations concerning citizen science and studying borders. And based on these observations, I would like to present my ideas of what are the challenges and possibilities for citizen science projects in the field of border studies. So let's start with the challenges. First of all, I think that we need to think about the research design. And there are a lot of existing models, platforms, methods for involving citizens into research projects, but most of these are for natural sciences. So when we are dealing with border studies, which is a multidisciplinary field of science, we most probably will have to develop new models. So second of all, we have to think about how to train and motivate the citizens. You will want to train your citizens in order to guarantee a higher scientific standard, a higher scientific quality of your research. And you would want to motivate your citizens in order for them to deliver the data and take part in discussions, etc. We had a problem with the school children that they were, of course, very excited about the research projects and they were motivated to carry them out. But sometimes they would forget to do their homework, etc. And there were different kinds of obstacles. So if you are having a serious research project, you will have to think about these issues and take them seriously. The third point would be to train the gatekeepers. So how do you train them in order for them to follow your methods And in order for you to guarantee, again, a good scientific quality of your research, we had teachers as our gatekeepers, and sometimes they would start to modify our methods and kind of make them look like their own. So if you have a serious research project, you would not want that to happen. Despite these challenges, citizen science, of course, also offers a lot of potential and possibilities for border studies. The first of these is the possibility to collect a lot of data, or even big data. Second, citizen science allows you to discuss borders with people who are actually affected by borders, and you might find out something new about borders that we did not know yet. And citizens, when you have citizens in your projects, you of course will be able to disseminate your research results much more effectively to the general public, and also to expand your own networks. And one thing that I find very important is the fact that if you involve children and young people in your projects, you will be able to educate them and teach them scientific methods and concepts. And this will be very, very useful for them, but also for you if you have some other citizen science projects in the future. Okay, so that was all. I would like to conclude my video by posing a question. Why should we have to make border studies and citizen science meet? I think that in this time of political crisis, it is very important that people are aware that borders are human creations and social constructs. So I see it as our duty as border scholars to raise this awareness. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video and check out the links in the end. See you, bye!